Hi there, we're just quickly going to look at what the heck a fraction is here. A fraction is just a part of something bigger. For example, if we have a circle and it has, let's count the number of parts in the circle, 1, 2, 3, 4. If one of those parts is colored blue, for example, I'm going to try to fill it in with this bucket here and see if it works. Okay, it doesn't. Anyway, if one of these parts was filled in blue. Let's pretend that this was all nicely filled in. I could ask, how many parts are filled in? You would say 1. And then I would say, underneath, how many parts were there altogether? And you would say, there are 4 parts altogether. So how many were filled in blue? 1 out of 4. Some people that are used to dealing with fractions say 1/4. You may have heard that. You may have heard people say that. 1/4. This is 1/4 filled in, this circle. Okay? The top part of a fraction is this word right here. It's called a numerator. Okay? The bottom part of a fraction is called the denominator. These are just fancy words. Okay? They're just ways to describe what's going on here with this thing. This bar here, this line, some people call it a divisor bar because you could take a calculator and go 1 divided by 4 and your calculator would show you a decimal. It would be 0.25. And in Canada and the United States, other places in the world possibly too, they call this a quarter when it comes to like how much money that would be. I have 1/4 because 4 of these, if I have 4 of them, it makes up a whole dollar. Okay? Anyway, so the top is how many parts you have, and the bottom is how many parts altogether. So how many parts filled in, I guess. I guess that's a little confusing when you think of it that way. How many parts you have? Well, you have 4. I don't know if that helps. So just remember, numerator, denominator. The number on top is often smaller than the number on the bottom. It often is, but not always. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly show you 3 different kinds of fractions, but I'm not going to show you how to deal with them yet. This is just an introduction, just to show you what fractions can look like, okay? So the fraction on the last page, the top was smaller than the bottom. And that's a very common fraction. It's also known as a proper fraction, when the top is smaller than the bottom. That's called a proper fraction. Okay? If you ever get a situation where the top is bigger than the bottom, okay, that's called an improper fraction. I don't know why the word equal is here. Maybe there is a reason, but all I know is if it was 9/9, it's really, I mean, technically you could say this is a fraction, but if you took a calculator and went 9 divided by 9, you would just get the number 1, which really isn't a fraction anyway. So let's just ignore that and just say if you get a fraction with the top being bigger than the bottom, it is called an improper fraction. Okay? So that leads me to the question, is 1 called an improper fraction? I don't know. That's something I don't know. I have to admit these things. I can't pretend to know everything. But now I'm curious. Anyway, the last type of fraction is when you have a mixed fraction. And it truly is mixed because you have a regular old number, you have a number 2, but then in addition to the 2, let's say you had a little bit more than 2. You'd say you had 2 1/3. Okay, that's how you would write that, 2 1/3. Some people are more familiar with 2 and 1/2, which is also known as 2 1/2. And as some of you know, 2 1/2 is really the same thing as 2.5. So you can take a fraction and turn it to a decimal very quickly by taking the top divided by the bottom, but that's another video. This video, we were just going to introduce what is a fraction and then the 3 different kinds of fractions, basically. Okay? And here they are. We're going to learn how to deal with these kinds of fractions in upcoming videos. But for now, this is all you need to know. Have a great day.